day 5,000 or whatever it's been of this lawless suppression, I just want to go to the beach. It's my constitutional right to go to the beach whenever I want. It's right there in article. It's in there. People will literally do anything the media tells them to just because the media tells them to. It's like they think reports disseminated through media outlets have peer-reviewed information derived by years of study and research by professionals who have dedicated their entire lives to finding that information and sharing it with the public for the benefit of society. Idiots! Why do doctors and health professionals with decades of experience feel like they have any right to tell me what's best for my health and my body when I am the one living in this flesh vessel? I'm more than happy to put my blind trust into viewer-hungry YouTubers who say things that resonate with my pre-existing beliefs that are based on literally nothing. I mean, based on my feelings and personal observations. This whole COVID thing would be over by now if the government had just allowed us to make our own choices and then experience the consequences of our own choices, even if it means everyone around us also experiences the consequences of our choices. Free will is the holy grail of humanity, and making selfish decisions that can negatively impact entire communities is just a natural and unavoidable extension of that. And it's worth it! Freedom, to me, obviously means I have the right to do whatever I want, irregardless of the effects my decisions have on others. That's why laws shouldn't even exist in any capacity, because if I want to do something, by golly, I should be able to do it. I should be allowed to do it. The natural course of things will figure itself out on its own, right? Oh, these people I found on YouTube, the ones confirming my preconceived notions, are 100% right, and I completely believe them without any skepticism because it's super easy for me to feel like they're right, you know? And they have exactly zero motivation to be pandering to me with bogus sensationalism. Think about it. If you were an up-and-coming YouTuber or some random estranged MIT graduate who no one in his field will vouch for or stand behind, what do you have to gain from it? Millions of views? National attention? Extra ad revenue? That doesn't... They don't... Anyway, they aren't the media, so... Not to mention, plenty of research indicates that COVID has a significantly smaller death rate than we were originally told. If you really think about it, the only variable that truly matters is the percentage of people who die after contracting the virus. There's no reason at all to look at other factors such as contagiousness, ability for the virus to mutate, the human body's ability to self-immunize against it. You can ignore those. Those are a waste of time. Especially ignore the flat death count in the US, which in 3 months' time has reached 82,485 by this time. I think I checked it. It's somewhere around there. This more or less solidifies the idea that COVID is just as, if not far less dangerous than, the normal flu. I mean, even by most generous counts, the flu killed roughly 64,000 people last year. And that's over the course of an entire year instead of just 3 months. And don't forget to factor in the fact that the US has largely been participating in this completely unnecessary and suppressive social distancing and whatnot during the vast majority of those 3 months. And even with that, COVID has still killed more people in 3 months than the regular flu did in an entire year. Wait a minute, cut that. There's obviously a terrifying government conspiracy at play here, and regardless of peer-reviewed articles and excellent journalism disagreeing with me, I just think it's so much easier to keep believing what makes me most frightened, because it feels more congruent with my being that way. It's like if you hand me an orange that hasn't been peeled yet. I can't consume that, and I won't consume that. You can't expect me to peel away the flimsy exterior in an attempt to obtain those tasty, nourishing morsels when it's so much easier to just throw it all in the garbage and label it sensationalist propaganda. I also spend all my time looking for YouTube videos from random people with no legitimate experience or knowledge of the situation, but might have the denotation of doctor in front of their name. But it confirms my existing beliefs in order to perpetuate my paranoia that all media is evil liars out to suppress the freedom of us cave dwellers using their Platonian shadow figures. Well, it's a good thing I've found the exit to this cave, and it's quite apparently another cave, actually. It's a good thing people like you and I are too smart to fall for this misinformation about things like the COVID death numbers, especially since in an earlier argument I compared COVID deaths to flu deaths. And all the numbers I obtained regarding flu deaths weren't inflated in any way at all. I know because those numbers confirm my bias, and I always choose to believe any information that confirms my bias rather than the information that contextually makes the most logical sense and is provided by professionals in a field who dedicate their entire lives to learning about those things. Makes sense to me. It's a well-documented secret that maintaining basic physical health allows the human body to just reject harmful viruses. I mean, I ate like 20 avocados this morning, so I don't need doctors or pharmaceutical companies telling me I need vaccines that are actually causing autism. I know plenty of people personally who haven't been vaccinated, maintain their general physical health, and they never get sick, and also haven't contracted COVID-19 yet. Sounds like a pretty obvious correlation to me, so I sleep pretty good at night. Like all those sheeple who need to wake up and realize that the government is... Can you believe that anyone in the world would be okay with being microchipped? I may be on all the internet social medias with my personal devices, which provides infinitely more information about me to the government than I could conceivably conceptualize. But a microchip? Do I look like a farm animal to you? Do I look like some lost kitty cat to you? Because I am very lost. I'll tell you who I trust more than God. Literally anyone who agrees with me, because it gives me such a dopamine rush to hear my opinions and thoughts are shared by other woke individuals. Money can't buy happiness, but dopamine is essentially happiness, and it clouds my mind enough to blindly trust unqualified people about topics with potentially cataclysmic impacts on society or the world. When my child's sick, I don't take them to a doctor. Doctor's bad. Except the fringe doctors, who, if you ask me, are wrongfully being censored and shamed. The ones making points that I agree with because they confirm my healthy skepticism of media and the government. You know, the skepticism that is my attempt at masking my unhealthy paranoia, complete and utter lack of trust in literally anything but my own personal experiences, and incessant need to be right about everything. So, for this video about obtaining information on COVID-19, do you think I should spend the last 3 minutes of the video, about a third of the video, discussing a conspiracy theory about Bill Gates that ultimately means nothing in the discussion surrounding COVID-19 info dissemination? Because I do! These niche YouTube videos help me classify anyone who goes along with the mainstream narrative surrounding COVID as an irresponsible sheep, just following the mainstream because the media has hypnotized millions of Americans into believing that peer-reviewed reports and professional journalism can disseminate helpful information off which society can make informed decisions? That way I can label them as sheep rather than listen to what they're actually saying. So many people are just sheeple in the sleeping herd of America that needs to wake up. Looking at information in an objective way and thinking about things logically is dangerous in a time like this, and finding useful or true information in sensationalist news is impossible to the point that it's not even worth reading it. You can't get anything from that. Toss it up, put it in the garbage. If you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go watch The Matrix for the 37th time this week and project myself onto Neo through a trance-like meditation that I practice on a daily basis in order to maintain my 5-head, 200 IQ sense of self, which allows me to reject literally every piece of media that doesn't confirm my bias.